Hey guys, it's Dennis here, and we're back with another brand new episode of Collider Games, the podcast version. I'm here with...
What's up, guys? Your boy Dorian.
And we're also joined by... Is this your first time?
This is my first Collider Games podcast,
yeah,
so thank you.
But you've been playing games here all the time.
For a minute.
Yeah, you like all our Twitch stuff. Jack Hind, who's also on the soccer or on Collider Sports
English Premier League recap.
Yeah, but you're always here playing games.
We always play games together. We need to have some fun in the office sometimes.
Yeah.
So I
He's
like to be the
playing.
funstigator.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you haven't been on a Collider Games podcast yet.
Well, I finally now have the privilege, so thank you.
guess.
Yeah, well,
thank you.
Thanks for joining us, and you'll be talking about some of the games. We'll all be talking about the games that we've been playing. Dorian, what have you been playing lately?
For some reason, I just got back into Overwatch. Like, I've been waking up super early playing it, going to bed playing it for, like, just... I've been playing it a lot. I don't know why. I just got a kick. Mainly, maybe because I don't have Black Ops yet, so I needed to find another way to cope with that. But yeah, I've just been playing a lot of Overwatch.
Yeah. What about you, Jack? What have you been playing?
I haven't played any Overwatch yet. We still need to play Overwatch because Dorian thinks he's the master with Soldier 70.
Yeah, Soldier 76.
Yeah, we got to say
I talk
about
about this like every other podcast. Y'all haven't seen my skills, but I'm fire. Like this morning, I was like, damn, I'm good. Like I really could go and compete in some esports leagues. Like really take on some like different teams, different countries with my skills. Like
you playing like solo deathmatch style?
No, so like 6v6.
6v6.
Like most of the time, like I'll do some of the.
So how do you know you're the champ? Do you have the most kills at the end of the...
Yeah, I usually end up with the most kills.
Less
either,
deaths.
Huh?
Less deaths.
Yeah,
like
a lot of less deaths. It'll tell you, it shows you like all your stats at the end, and then like usually the top 4 players from both teams will like get announced, and they'll say like what their top stat is, and I'll more like 95% of the time I'll be there for either like most eliminations, most healer rocket kills, or like best play, and most of like half the time I'll get like best play of the game. Like they replay one of the coldest of the best scenes from.
So none of us know if any of this is true. By the way,
I need to start. I'm gonna just have it all screen recorded and do it. Like, show you.
Are you collaborative with your teammates on Overwatch, or you just go, solo on your own, kill people?
It depends on like what the team I'm working with, because if they like usually they'll say like you need a healer, you need this, like, and if they try to build like a right team, then usually I'll try to do like go with the team and see, like, we'll try to do a team strategy. But if they're all just picking who they're trying to play with and not like trying to get a healer or like a defense or a tank or anything like that.
So who do you play as?
Soldier 76.
Just a killer.
Yeah, just a killer. So I mainly look out for myself, and then like I pick him first, and then make sure like people build a good team around me. But I usually try to be a team player most of the time, and like he can also heal people around him. Like he has a healing thing too, so I try to do that even when I'm not.
If I'm playing with friends, like we can do that where you play this class and I'll play, and then I'll make the sacrifice. Yeah. If I'm not playing with friends, I'm gonna play whoever's gonna kill somebody. I'm not healing other people. That's just to be frank. If I don't know you, I'm not running around healing people.
However, I love the healers though. When you are playing stuff like even for Battlefield as well. When you are playing and everybody's like, no, every man for himself. But then there's that one dude who's running around like, I got you, bro. Like, and he's just healing you
up. He's just like a positive person.
All of a sudden, you're just like, this dude.
Look, I don't mind like within games, like like Fortnite or whatever, and like healing other people, because that's part of
the reviving
the game,
and all that.
Reviving, healing. But I don't want to be the guy whose job is to run around and heal people.
Because then there's a little mode on there, like you can signal out for the healers. You can be like, I need healing, I need healing. So it's like you got to be a real MVP player to be a healer, especially on Overwatch, because there's some like they can attack and and defend themselves as well. But most of the time, like the healers' attacks are usually weaker, so they like you got to be a team.
If you come in a one-on-one, it's game over. If you're a healer running around, if you come into like a face-off, what's the point in doing it then?
But now, like, I think this has been a recent update since I've been playing, because I haven't played in a minute. But like at the end of the games, you can also like give, like you can shout out 3 other team players, like good sportsmanship, good like shot calling, good being a team player. So usually the healers get that, and they'll get extra experience points for that as well.
Do you find Overwatch a more positive? I'm talking about the people that are playing there and their response to the game? Are people pretty positive on there compared to something like Call of Duty, where it's
I definitely say it's a lot more positive, especially with that new feature they've implemented. Like, you're basically just cheering on other people to get experience. Like, if you give out those, you get 3 a game, you give those out, you get like 50 experience points yourself. So it's like you're just being positive. You're getting extra experience for not even doing anything. So they're kind of like making you be
promoting the positivity.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, every time I went on like Call of Duty, like multiplayer, man, it's like not everyone, but you'll meet some of the dregs of society on there. Just the word, like, people think, Conor McGregor like said some stuff about
trashy shit.
Like, these kids.
You haven't come across a 12-year-old kid who just got his ass handed to him in COD who's just have a bad day.
Oh man, it's terrible. So
that's what I've been playing. Yeah, I've been getting my ass ripped apart by a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds. Really, it's not been fun at all. They just call you out
disrespectful.
Even if you do well. Even if you do one of the best on the team, they'll still have something trashy to say about you. Black Ops we've been playing. Me and my roommate at home, Zach, who played with us when we got the beta testing for Blackout on the Twitch channel for a little while. It's a lot of fun. It takes you back. It's boots on the ground, so it really takes you back. It makes you feel like you're playing the original Call of Duties again. We were spamming the shit out of Black Ops 3 before it came out, just in the hopes that it would be like, right, okay, let's get good at Black Ops 3. Let's get used to it all. So then when it comes to Black Ops 4, it's going to be no problem. It's entirely different. Hardcore was 10 times stronger in Black Ops 3 than what it is in this one. Now the actual normal team deathmatch game is pretty much one of the most funnest ones to play. And Blackout, they finally changed the armor. When you got level 3 armor in the beta in Blackout, you were just impossible to kill. You shoot 176 times and there was nothing going on. Now it seems as though they've dropped it down a little bit. Do I prefer it to Fortnite? Zach does. Zach thoroughly prefers it to Fortnite because he very much so prefers the realistic and the realism of it, and the fact of where it's like no building, no jumping, no falling off of cliffs and you're like surviving or just losing a little bit of health. I guess I like the cartoon aspect of Fortnite between the two. So as Royal Rumble games to a point,
Battle Royale
games, as a Battle Royale game, it's enjoyable, but I still prefer the team aspect of the multiplayer. The multiplayer to Black Ops 4 is a lot of fun.
Well, have you played PUBG?
When I played PUBG a little bit. I played it on the mobile. Mobile PUBG was probably more fun than the actual console when I was playing it on there, because you just had to run around so much, and it gave you a headache. It felt like I was running forever whenever I played PUBG. So do I want to say it's a more smoothly designed version of PUBG? Yeah, maybe. Everything looks 10 times better. The characters look better. The guns are better. The machines are better. But do I also think it's still very similar? Yes. I mean, you're looking at things on the floor. You're holding a button to pick them up. You're looking at it. All the way that you flip through things are very similar as well. But it's a much smoother and much more entertaining game.
But how does it feel from... And I played a little of the beta... like the first person perspective versus the third person, like on a Fortnite or PUBG.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
you don't see the field of view is much smaller.
Yeah, the field of view is much smaller, but I think personally, I actually prefer first person than I do the third person. Anyways, just for aiming. Just for aiming, I feel like when you're looking straight down the sight of the gun, it's a lot easier than just looking at a crosshair in the distance. So. Personally, yeah, I would choose the first. I would love to see Fortnite introduce that, but obviously because of the skins and everything, I don't think they have any intention of doing it, because that's one of their biggest money makers in it. So what would be the point if you then couldn't see the skins anymore? But obviously, I've also been playing a lot of EA games as well. I've always been a big EA fan from FIFA 2002. So FIFA 19's been out, and UFC 3 that we've been playing. We got, what did we get? The Notorious Edition.
Yeah,
it just happened for you,
I bought UFC 3 like when it came out. Been playing it, and then they announced like this Notorious one right before UFC 229, which we talked a lot about on the Collider Sports, and for some reason, I downloaded it here at the office, and once I start up, it just says Notorious
Edition. Yeah, I got that because it was on sale as well. Was it like half price or something?
Yeah.
So once I saw it, I was like, yeah, gonna have to be getting that.
Yeah, I paid full price when it.
You paid the full price for it?
It came out like.
Well, it was months ago now. It was almost a year ago, I think. But yeah, I did. I wasn't. The reason I got it this time was because of the hype of the UFC again that came around this time. The same as the reason why I got UFC 2.
You were playing UFC 2. I skipped 2.
You skipped 2.
Yeah, I played 1 and then I skipped 2 and then
there was something about the UFC games. It's just how intricate they really are. Like from a controller, they've used every aspect of the controller possible to be able to throw different types of punches, kicks, blocks, etc.
Submissions.
The submissions are so much fun as well. Well, for some of us.
Yes.
Some people haven't got the hang of it just yet. No. There's a big jump though between UFC 2 and UFC 3. There is a huge amount of difference in that. I was spamming out UFC 2 in the hopes that I was going to be able to just fall into UFC 3. Jeez Louise. That is such a different game. Such a different game in itself.
Yeah, they always change it. I mean, I felt like the I don't know from 2, but from 1 to 3, the stand-up game was much more improved.
Oh, it's so much slower.
But it's like...
It's improved as in realistic-wise? As in like it's become more realistic, the stand-up game?
Realistic in the moves. They feel like more... I don't know if realistic is quite the word, but like the strategy in your fighting. I did dislike when I used to bob and weave all the time, and there was like no energy drain. Every character of mine was like Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
Now
like
they've
boxer.
overcompensated. I understand why they took it away because it was like I made every character like that, and you could dodge so much stuff, and there was no need to use the block button at that point. Now they've made it like you just move your head back and your stamina drops like by half.
Half a bar.
I'm just moving my head back. Come on.
I'm not a big fan of that aspect. And same with the blocking now as well. R2 and L2 is to block your body and then R2 is to block high. Yeah. It's like every time I keep slapping R1 thinking that I'm about to get blocked and then I just get rocked by someone and it's just it's getting back. It's like it's just getting used to it again and getting used to the controls, and then once you actually remember those native things and the different blocks and the different punches thrown, then I'll be able to pick it up again and get back into it.
Yeah, and you also are playing the new FIFA, right?
Yeah, FIFA 19 is tons of fun.
Yeah, you and Roka play that
all the time. Yeah, Roka keeps thinking that he can beat me. Beat me once, I think, when he was playing as Liverpool. He's very good as Liverpool. Besides that, he's trash. He's going to get so mad when he hears that now. But I play on Ultimate Team as well. I spend way too much money on that game, buying packs consistently. Ultimate Team's a lot of fun. It has a different division rivals again. There's so much that you can talk about when it comes to FIFA nowadays as well. The squad challenges that they're doing are a lot of fun as well. They put you use your team and you play against the computer, but it's other people's ultimate teams. You're playing for rewards consistently. I don't know how they get away with the whole loot crate type of scenario, because if I remember correctly, EA got really shut down in regards to Battlefront, right?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't shut down. It's like they got a huge backlash about it. About basically all these transactions to
try and get the better guns, the better this. But that's exactly what FIFA Ultimate Team is. That is exactly what that game is based around. It's about spending money on packs and arbitrarily hoping to get somebody that's worth amount of money. I love doing it. Okay. I have no problem.
Love giving your money
I love giving my money to EA and sitting there and waiting for that card to come up and flip around. You have no idea. When I hear people are backlashing on this, I'm like, then don't pay for it. Why are you claiming out on something when
self-control? Some people don't have self-control. It's like when we put a spoiler review on Collider Video.
Why
are you doing that? I haven't seen the movie yet.
Don't click
on it.
Click on it, man.
Who's forcing you to watch this thing? You have no self-control.
You don't have to click on it. Yeah. There's a big warning in the beginning of it. Yeah, it's like people.
Yeah, and then they'll go to the comment section of that video and be like, spoilers. Like, why haven't y'all waited until like people actually saw? I was like, why are you even in this comment section right now?
Go away.
Go away. Come back after you saw the movie.
The one thing though I would say against these type of transactions is, look, I'm not against the companies making money. I don't like when they're selling something that gives an advantage to another person when you're playing PvP, right? Like if you're playing multiplayer and someone's just buying their way. Like if you want new skins or you want whatever, I just feel like it should be a level playing field. I don't want to go into some sort of game where this other person has...
certain amount of guns because they can pay for it.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, but you're not. You don't pay for it though. You pay for it, but you don't It's not like I'm going to say like, oh, if I spend $100 right now, I'm going to get the best gun in the game. Because I could go and spend $1,000 trying to open loot crates. You could go and spend $10 on one. You could get that best gun in the game right away. I've just lost $1,000 and I got nothing.
It's like gambling, man.
It is. It's purely like gambling. So that's why it's not, okay, yeah, if you have enough money, it probably gets to the threshold of where it's like, okay, you've spent so much, you've bought every pack in the possible game. So now you're like just destined to get the best card or the best gun, etc. But when it comes to FIFA, I don't know if they do it in COD yet. I mean, I know they used to, but they obviously team you up. They try and match level. They try and level match you. So like, if I go against somebody in FIFA, I've come up against somebody who literally has like a full team of the year team, which are all these different, the blue cards, the black cards, the purple cards. But then I've played them and I've absolutely spanked them. So although they've got these weapons that are just should be trashing any, like if I had his team, I would absolutely be destroying some of these people. But that's also where I think they do level match it well enough, because I haven't come across anybody yet in FIFA who has a team like that who then turned around and absolutely destroyed me. So I think that's how they can kind of average it out.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess then you get people to we did that one. Were you on that one podcast that we covered that librarian dude that spent like $90,000?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
On a mobile game. On a mobile game, he embezzled money from I forgot what state it was. He was a librarian.
Arkansas. No, I don't know. Alabama, something like that.
It was a different state, and like he embezzled like $90,000 of money that he funneled to his addiction to this mobile game. Like,
how do you spend $90,000 on a game?
You'd be surprised.
No, but I mean, like I said, I like spending money on FIFA Ultimate Team and on those packs, like way more than what I should do. My parents used to get so mad at me. $90,000.
I've heard like you'd be surprised. Like when I used to work for Apple, like we have it in our code. Like if they're under 13 or 14, like you have to call like the advisor.
You have to call
the
it.
Parents have to call and be like, hey, it was my kid. Like they're stupid as shit. Like they don't understand the concept of you're spending actual money. They just like think it's tokens and then they'll just go off.
But if they're over 13, they're done, man. They got to pay.
Stupid. If you're over 13 and you're spending that much, then you deserve like those consequences. You obviously know what you're doing at that point.
Imagine like people are paying off their like student loans or their graduate school loans, and you're paying off fucking your mobile game addiction.
That guy who spent $90,000, if you did that on FIFA, he would have been able to open 18,000 just the normal regular jumbo packs. That is, I wouldn't even know how to open 18,000 packs.
Like, I don't know.
Your PlayStation would shut down.
That's why I don't play mobile games.
Yeah, never.
Any of those free to play, like they always get you with something.
Day. I'll play them for half a day, and then I'll delete it and throw it away.
I was addicted to, you know how much I love Fallout, but they did the
Fallout Shelter. Bro, that game is rubbish, man.
I played it all the way until. Like you get to a point where then you have to spend money in order to
carry it on to keep your
and I was like,
well,
alive. I'm done. I had my fun with the game. I'm not paying
$6. Well, you can pay. Yeah, you can just get like the additional.
If you want me to pay for the game and it's unlocked for me and I can play it forever. I mean, you can play the game forever, but I'll pay it. But I'm not paying like incremental
again and again each time to do it.
Yeah, it's a fun game, and then that was it. Yeah. So, new Red Dead Redemption 2. It's coming out next Friday. They released a launch trailer today. Did you guys check it out?
Yeah, it was like a movie. Yeah, it was like a minute.
A minute long.
Yeah, minute, short little trailer. But I liked what I saw from it so far. Like, and again, I think I said it at the beginning when we got chewed out by those Red Dead Redemption fans from that. What's that guy's name?
Legacy.
Yeah, shout out to him if you're watching this because we're talking about Red Dead Redemption. But yeah, I haven't played the first one, but ever since I've seen the first gameplay footage of this new one, I'm definitely interested in it. And this new footage that we just saw definitely hyped it up for me even more. So hopefully we'll have some Red Dead Redemption 2 coverage on the channel sooner rather than later.
Yeah, they're after Joe. They were after Joey, man. They were going after him
because you called it a carbon copy of GTA 5.
Yeah.
Well, what'd you expect? You throw a pitch, you're going to get someone swinging. Yeah. And that's what he did on that one. These are my favorite types. I mean, I know me and you are super excited for Fallout 76, first of all, as well. Like, we're
definitely doing some Twitch streaming on that game.
All of it, consistently, all the time. But yeah, these open world, like the open world type of game is possibly one of my preferred.
It's my favorite
from The Witcher,
game.
From Skyrim.
I'm playing Odyssey right now.
You're playing Odyssey, exactly. Yeah, the original Assassin's Creeds were so much fun as well. The exploration is something that I thoroughly enjoy. when it comes to games. And so that's why Red Dead Redemption 2, that launch trailer, like that story to it, like the fact that there's multiple different avenues that we're going to be able to go down and follow and go to different towns and deal with different types of people before you're even paying attention to any of the actual story on it. That's what I'm going to be the most excited for.
Yeah, I like the trailer as well. It was definitely more cinematic, story
Very
driven.
much so.
I don't think they showed any gameplay. It was
not
straight,
at all. It was
all
pure.
cut
Yeah,
scenes,
it was all cutscenes.
which is cool. I remember the first Red Dead, they had released a 30-minute, like basically short film directed by John Hillcoat, who directed The Proposition. If you see that poster in my office, that's The Proposition, which basically they admitted that that's what inspired the first Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, so they definitely like that, and that's the feel I got from this trailer. Like, oh, you're playing this movie, you know?
Yeah, bank robberies and like train stuff and like robbing carts, and I mean, even the fact that little story that went around, they were saying like the horse's nutsack shrivel in the winter and large in the summer. It's like it's going to be a game that has absolutely every corner of it covered. And I think if people have something like bad or negative to say about this game, they're just going to be those types of people. They're just going to be somebody who's able to find something negative.
Well, there is something that I think I personally need fixed for
What's
this
the
game.
issue so far?
No, I haven't played the game yet. But if in the first game, the horse mechanics, I hated.
What, tapping X?
Yeah, I got to tap it to
make
get a speed.
Yeah,
and
the
then
same as the way you had to run in the original consoles as well, in the original GTAs. You used to have to tap the X.
I'm going to get arthritis playing this.
Carpal tunnel.
But playing this game, you know, because I played the first one, which I enjoyed, but I hated the horse mechanics.
Yeah, like on The Witcher, you just double tap it, right? You just double tap X and it made you sprint or something.
But when Assassin's Creed, you literally just hold the thumbstick in the direction you want to go.
You hold it, the faster you go, or for Assassin's
you hold it, and then the longer you hold it, then he'll run to top speed.
Yeah,
and then after a while, he'll tire out and go slower, but. I'm not sitting there tapping the button.
X consistently.
Yeah. I like that.
I have a feeling they would have changed it.
I hope so.
I don't think it's going to be the same. What was it in GTA 5? I actually downloaded it again the other night because the guys wanted to play. I can't remember if it was the same when it came to the running, if it was the tapping of the X, or I think if you tapped it a couple times, or if you held it, you were able to sprint.
Yeah.
I'll have to play it again to realise. But I have a feeling that probably was a complaint from a lot of people, not just yourself. And I mean, they're working, 100-hour weeks right now? I'm pretty sure within those 100-hour weeks.
Which they got a lot of crap for.
They got so much shit for that.
And then, who's the is it the owner or CEO?
Of Rockstar Games?
Yeah, he came out and said...
I have a feeling they get looked after perfectly over there.
Yeah, they say...
I mean, GTA 5 is still like the highest grossing
co-founder, Dan Houser, and this is someone that Mark has worked with before. He issued a clarification. He was saying, it was for a few weeks, not years, and it was just a smaller group of them. Video game industry is tough, man. I had a friend that worked at Treyarch doing QA stuff, and they were like working there all the time. Yeah, especially when it gets closer to launch time. It's that launch window time, and they're there all the time.
I mean, just seeing like how you and Thad have been working like harder on just the Twin Peaks VR stuff, like just something like that.
And that's a short experience.
That's not hundreds of hours of gameplay with considerable amounts of NPCs in there with different environments, different feelings. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a 100-hour work week game. But you wanna know what? When you're making something like that, I feel like you'd be happy to put in that time, you know? Yeah. Hence why we do 100-hour weeks here at Collider, you know?
60 hours to complete. That's what they're saying about complete Red Dead 2. 149 gigs.
Damn.
On PS4.
Luckily, I have the
PS4, 149 gigs. That's more than 10% of a 1 terabyte drive.
Correct.
I'll probably have to get it for dude. That's a shit ton. My PS4 memory is already like this much now.
Well, you got to get it on Xbox then.
True, Team Xbox.
Yeah. Because it's a terabyte, right, on the Xbox One X?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's what I have as well on the PS4 that I have. I don't have the PS4 Pro. I have the Days of Play edition, the blue one. But it was the same, or I think it was $50 more than the original PlayStation. It gave me the terabyte hard drive. So I was like, that's the best $50 I've ever spent.
Yeah, I have the OG, like the
OG one. Yeah, mine's like small and round. Yours is like an actual square.
A bulky. Yeah. I mean, it's not as bulky, but still compared to the new ones.
I got the Xbox One when it came out, so I got it's only 500 gig hard drive.
You can get externals though, right?
Yeah, I bought external.
You bought an external
because I was getting so many games on gold for free games.
Yeah.
That I was like, I gotta load all this shit up, and and all these big games like Fallout 4, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
50 gigs here, 45 gigs there, 60 gigs there.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I got that one. Though the thing that sucks is like they improved it with the S, and obviously with the X is I have this giant.
Power cord.
Yeah. It's a power brick.
They've always had that.
We got that solo one, right?
Doesn't have it anymore. No. It's just a straight wire.
When I opened up the box, I was like, where's the power brick? They're missing the power. Oh no, it doesn't need one.
Didn't they? Weren't those power bricks originally like? They were made because the Xbox would always it would cock up quite often. It would mess up, and it was supposed to if it came unplugged. Well, yeah, they would overheat a lot, but the actual power brick itself was supposed to be almost like a backup generator type of thing. So if it came unplugged, you had the second to plug it back in.
Yeah,
they were like
they're massive.
Yeah,
they're like half the size of the console.
It's correct. That's exactly and they weighed more than the console normally. They were so heavy.
Yeah, so now the way I have it set up in my house, it's like it's not easy for me to plug and unplug
and move it around.
I just leave it there. Where here in the office we got that one, so easy.
Just unplug it and move it around anywhere.
Yeah, so
PS4 game.
But 149 gigs, 60 hours complete. Man,
that's a game.
Yeah.
That's a game.
Yeah. I'm excited, though.
They say 60 hours to complete as well. It's like, nobody's going to complete the game in 60 hours. That game's going to have so much, outside story-driven parts to it. You'll be playing for an hour, and then suddenly you'll realise that you've only done 2 minutes of the story, and you've just wandered off. And
it's like 60 hours if you're just, playing
you're just doing nothing but the story. But this game's going to have so much to it. There's
this one has, fishing, poker.
Exactly.
They have the
standoffs. They're gonna have standoffs, random standoffs when you go into towns and stuff with the villains and the bad guy that's there, and then the choices that you make affect who you are as a person as well, and the way that people are hunting you down. You can get bounties on your head and everything. There's gonna be so much to this game. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, and then the online system's gonna come on a few weeks after, and then everyone's gonna be playing that.
That's gonna suck.
What do you mean?
Because people are you're going to get really far, you're going to get to a cool point, you're going to have a bunch of stuff, and then some team's just going to come along and just kill you and tie you to a horse and rip you in half and then take all your stuff. That's how it's going to work.
Oh shit, okay. Is that... Damn.
I reckon that's how it's going to work.
I hope it's more in depth than the first one. I enjoyed the first one, the online of the first one, but it just felt like a beta to me.
Yeah.
Wasn't fleshed out completely.
Well, that was what? 7 years ago?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
2000. It would have been 2012, 2011.
I mean, it was on the last generation.
Jesus,
and it wasn't even end of cycle last generation.
No,
it was mid cycle.
Yeah. They had probably 3 years left before the new Xbox and PS4s came out.
Yeah. So looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Hopefully it comes out next Friday. Hopefully we can get a review. I said that about Odyssey.
Yeah, we said that about
didn't happen.
Said that about Black Ops.
Yeah.
Hope things will change. Hopefully, just gotta keep being positive.
Right.
Keep being positive.
That always works.
Keep being P.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4. You talked about it. The reviews have come out. Obviously, mostly positive reviews. Yeah. People are saying dropping the single player campaign. While some people miss it. Like me, I enjoy actually. I'm one of the few people
the single player campaigns
that actually plays
they were good fun.
They said, but all that focus towards the multiplayer has paid off, and they feel like this is kind of the next evolution in this game with all the different modes. I mean, you got zombies. Have you played zombies?
No, we haven't. Zach did get to play some zombies the other day. Unfortunately, I haven't had the time to hit up zombies yet. But one thing he has said so far, one thing we both said about so far as well, is the gun selection in the game as well, and the way that you get to now customize the guns. You can do so you used to get quick draw, grip, stock, those different additions and attachments you could put on the gun. Now you can put quick draw level 1, quick draw level 2. So now they have extra customization of the actual attachments that you can put onto your gun as well. And the gun selections. Well, I mean, Black Ops, in my personal opinion, as much as we like Black Ops 3 just because of the boosting and the difference of it, the maps were the worst and the guns were the worst out of all the CODs we'd ever played. Zach and I would sit at every game we were playing. We were like, this is hands down the worst maps and the worst guns. So both of those seem to have been upgrade for multiplayer in Black Ops 4 for sure. The guns are much nicer, and the maps are a lot more fun to play on as well.
Yeah. I've been seeing some of the reviews have been saying like this is the best Call of Duty game, multiplayer Call of Duty game in years. Don't
be Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
That just I don't think anybody could ever argue there. Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2. Rust, quick scope, no scope on Rust. Like that was COD childhood. Like for me,
that's what I've been playing lately. Besides Overwatch, is Modern Warfare 2
the remastered
version on the Xbox.
Yeah,
this is my first time playing on the Xbox, so I've been just playing through that and the campaign mode. I do enjoy that part too. But I've just been killing.
The campaign mode is always to me. It's like playing a Michael Bay movie. It's over the. It is not so realistic whatsoever.
What was one with like the 75-yard or meter snipe, or it was like even further than that? I think it was either possibly Black Ops 1 or
crazy over the top. It's like jumping off rooftops, grabbing onto helicopters as the helicopters being like on fire. It's that type of.
It was
campaign.
like 4 of you. It was like your squad against like half of a nation, and you're just like running through it for days, killing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and nobody on your team ever died.
No.
Or even got shot or like needed medical assistance. You were just tearing apart armies. It was amazing.
Yeah. So a lot of fun there.
The streamers are loving Black Ops as well over on Twitch and stuff. It seems as though Fortnite numbers, although they're still obviously massively strong, since Blackout has come around, you've seen a lot of your typical battle royale, your Fortnite streamers switching over to that, and it's fun to see the difference between the streamers that were able to crush it on Fortnite and then the ones that aren't as strong over on Black Ops. Exactly. Yeah. But some of them are still performing really well. Dr. Lupo's killing it over there at the moment. I think Ninja's still doing pretty heavy on Fortnite, but I've seen him do a couple over on Twitch for Black Ops as well. But I still rate COD. I still love COD most for its multiplayer.
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever be able to say that I love COD for its blackout mode or for its any other type of battle or any other type of mode over than the fact that I still love it for its mode. Even if this COD came out without blackout, I still would have been just as excited for it for the multiplayer mode. Definitely, I was more excited.
Okay, for the multiplayer mode, what are you playing?
What do you mean?
Like.
What Matt? Just team deathmatch will play.
Team deathmatch.
There's hardcore demolition, capture the flag, all the original the similar ones are all still on there. Demolition has always been domination, not demolition. Yeah. Domination was one of my preferred ones on the original, just because everybody has to go stand in a spot. Yeah. And I'm a ranger. I like to use further ranged weapons.
Yeah. Are you a camper?
I'm not a camper. Okay. No. So when any type of game, I'm like an archer. I'm a ranged weapon. I've always been further distance. Yeah. I don't know why. I would not consider myself a camper though. I'm not the guy who sits in the corner of a room. I'm the guy who finds like I said in domination, right? You've got A, B, and C. So you go find the best points from A, B, and C, and then you sit there for a little while, move around between the few of them, and then just pick people off.
Yeah, it's funny, like how angry people get at campers. It's hilarious.
I get angry.
Like people lose their shit.
You have no idea because there's a difference between a camper and somebody who's tactically smart about it. Okay, if there's an area on the game where you know there's high volumes of people and you know certain advantages that are slightly hidden and you bounce around them. You're a tactical player and you're good at doing it. That's not camping. If there's a corner that nobody can see you in or shoot you in and it's pitch black and you just sit there for the whole damn game and then you're just picking people off from the same space that runs through, that's a camper. Yeah. That is somebody that I cannot come in. I just can't. And then the best part about that is getting a tomahawk. And then once you get a tomahawk on that kill, on that camper from like far away, it's one of the most satisfying things on the planet.
Yeah, it's funny. I forgot who it was with. And it was years ago listening to an interview with an athlete, and they like straight up admitted they're like, yeah, I'm a camper. Like I don't care. I want to kill people. You know, I want to win. Yeah. And then like, of course, on social media, fans were just like,
ripped
What would you give it out of 10?
In regards to games in general, or just in regards to Call of Duty games in general? What honestly, with the fact that it doesn't have no story, like there's no I could be getting slaughtered for saying this. There's no creativity to the game.
I heard it's just a refinement and polish of what they already had, right?
Yeah, it's a pure COD has always been mostly well known for its multiplayer access, surely. And this is now them capitalizing on it maybe, or them really embracing it fully, and like you say, sacrificing the campaigns now in order to only focus on that.
A lot of my friends never played the single player. I always played it.
How do you not play the single player?
A lot of my friends, they buy it and they straight go into multiplayer. They just want to get better.
What I usually do.
No, I like to know the stories of games. Like I think that the reason they've made like that's I love the stories of games. People get to tell a story over 60 hours instead of watching it in a movie. Like what Troy Baker told us. Like it's so much more enjoyable to watch somebody's recreation of something into a game than what it is into a movie or book or whatever. So I'm very surprised that you don't play.
Well, I mean, that's just the Call of Duty. Like, I've done a couple, but...
Some of the missions were good fun, though. They definitely started losing out on their campaigns. Right into they did start dropping them from Modern Warfare to Modern Warfare 2 and then into World at War and stuff. The last one, Black Ops 2, wasn't a very strong multiplayer. You would like drop in and they had like 5 or 6 different areas and you would like drop into different parts of the world and then clear it out and then you were done.
They must have done the numbers on it though. They probably
they probably knew.
They're like, okay, X percentage actually play the single player. That means they're not buying it for the single player. Therefore, let's funnel our resources towards there. So what would you give it in terms of a game?
After like a week of playing, no, I have not been playing for that long. After a week of playing so far, I would probably give it a 7.5, an 8. And that purely is, again, this is a biased decision. I like games like Fallout. I like games like The Witcher. I like games like Skyrim. I love those,
those
character
worlds.
Building. Yeah, the RPGs.
Yeah, I'm with you on there. Yeah.
God of War is easily... I would say God of War is my favourite game of this year. Think off the top of my head right now. Hands down, God of War 4 was probably one of my favourite games. It was incredibly beautiful. It was just absolutely phenomenal. So the multiplayer aspect of Call of Duty, which is the only thing you can rate, I would give a solid 7.5.
Okay. Yeah. Where does it rank for you amongst Call of Duty games of all time?
Modern Warfare 2. World at War was okay. I did enjoy like the World War aspect. Probably top 5.
Top 5?
Modern Warfare 2 is just without fail number 1, always will be. But that's also the one that I grew up with. That was the one that hit me when I was probably like 14. So when I really started understanding how to actually play video games and then online and then friend communication with all our headsets and parties and stuff. So yeah, it would come top 5 for me, probably in position 3 or 4.
And how's the Blackout? I know Blackout isn't your preferred mode, but how would you compare it to?
It's fun, and like I say, it's enjoyable. You can do again.
Is the map
2,
still
4,
too
1,
big?
2, and 4. You can do 100 people now.
Okay,
they've got the 100 people now, so you do the 100 people.
When we were doing beta, it was only like 60.
80. I think it got to 80 or 78 or something. I think it kept jumping up to.
I think my games were like 60 something.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, they just didn't have the players to fill it out. And you would sometimes drop somewhere on Blackout and you would run around the whole game and you wouldn't find anyone. Now that's changed.
Okay.
Excuse me. 100 people on the map now as well. Everything else is pretty much the same.
Okay.
Don't seem any different compared to the beta. There could just be things that I haven't seen on it yet as much. I've been playing more of the multiplayer than I have the Blackout on there. There's zombies that get dropped in at certain areas of the map. There's the mystery box on there still as well. And yeah, it's just, if you want to win, if you want to beat 98 other people or 99 other people or 96 other people, depending if you're playing singles, duos or squads, then it's the ideal thing to go and do. Otherwise, I have a feeling most people are going to eventually
play team deathmatch. You respawn. You have a kill death ratio. Also, at least the way I play, I need to get in a groove into the game.
Correct.
So if you're playing that map, you want to get into that groove.
Correct.
Where this is like, you die and then, all right, next time.
Well, and it's also, you're looking for your guns instead of getting to choose your gun. Like, you don't get to design your gun. You only design it with the shit that you pick up whilst you're running around. Like, that's the difference about it as well. Like, in multiplayer mode, when you can just drop into a team deathmatch or something, you get to choose and create your own class. The customizational aspect as well is a lot of fun when it comes to choosing and designing your own game. So I do think in the long run the multiplayer, team deathmatch, etc. Those things are going to be they'll come out on top. I could be entirely wrong, but that's just my own opinion.
All right, let's move on. There's a game that I've been playing, which is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yes, looks good. You showed me some of it the other day.
I got it. I got it. Look, I'll be honest. I've played Assassin's Creed games, but I haven't played them all. And so for me, look, I'll be honest. The whole modern futuristic storyline of Assassin's Creed I don't care about. Like, it actually takes me out of the game, Yeah. So far I've played about 9-10 hours in this game. you go, and this is like a 60-hour game. You do in the beginning they tell you about Animus and all that crap, and there's these two ladies that are going in, they're trying to like explain a reason why they're going into this world. I don't care. Honestly, I don't. I care about the storyline that's going on in there. Where I pick Cassandra, you can pick a guy or a girl, Alexios and Cassandra. I care about that story. I care about what she's doing. And every time they, like, even like when you get your hawk up there to
the viewpoint or whatever it is,
to pick out stuff, and then you go out of it, they'll do this thing where they kind of go dissolve back into your character, and you can see like the little, almost like virtual reality.
Can you still see the virtual stuff when you were like, so when you're going through the modes, like you can still see like the outlines of it? You could do that in Assassin's Creed 3, I think it was as well. It would do a similar type of thing. It would put you back into that realm whenever there was like a loading screen or something.
Well, they didn't put you into that realm. What it does is once you get out of that bird's eye view, back to your character, they show your environment, but it dissolves in with the virtual reality grids.
Okay, yeah.
To be like, hey, you're in this whatever world.
To remind you.
To me, like, I don't care about that. I don't want it. I want to feel like I am in ancient Greece. Look, I know it's not realistic. There's Medusa and like Minotaurs and all Centaur and all that crap. Who cares? I want to be there. I'm pretty sure God of War, like, I don't play God of War because I don't have a PlayStation. I'm pretty sure God of War doesn't have virtual reality lines. You don't have a guy with VR glasses. Like, I just don't care about. I know some people probably like it. I don't care about it.
You just want to be like submersed in the world itself, not like reminded that you're in a virtual reality.
Yeah. So I'm playing a game that's also a
virtual somebody put them.
No. But as far as the game's concerned, fantastic. I love playing it.
How's the combat?
The combat's good. I mean, there's no block anymore, so you're just
all dodging,
just parrying.
There's parrying and dodging. I don't like, and it's weird. I don't know. No one's gonna get this reference, but I don't like that the attack button is the bumper on the top. I just don't like when games decide that one of these instead of the trigger or instead of one of the regular buttons is the main attack button.
Yeah.
I had the same problem with, and it's weird to say this comparison, but with the NHL 2K, I forgot what version it was. They changed the pass button, which you use all the time, right?
Yeah, it's the most used.
From one of the regular standard A, B, X, Y
to a trigger or a bumper.
A bumper. I'm sitting here the whole game pressing that. Like, I can't. So this one you use the bumper as
to attack.
So I don't like that. But the combat's cool. You know, you're upgrading your tree. You got your assassin's tree, your hunter, which is basically archery tree, and then your regular attack tree. I usually upgrade. Get my character as strong as possible.
In one, or you try and raise all three of them at the same time?
I always try to go the strength route.
Physically,
every game, Fallout,
UFC,
everything is always about how strong can I
make my guy?
How strong can I get the health, the damage meter up, and how strong can I make my person? Yeah. I like using characters that are brute force, but it's fantastic. And I even like the naval combat more than I did with Black Flag, because it's weird because this takes place, a long time before, so you don't have cannons or anything like that. Yeah. But you got to get close enough so you can throw spears and shoot arrows. It's a lot of fun, and I just love the graphics are gorgeous. The water graphics as your boat is into the water, and it's just. I don't know. It rains sometimes. Your crew starts singing and chanting.
Whilst you're on the boat?
Yeah, because they're rowing and stuff. It's just a lot of fun. The game is huge, too. I mean, 10 hours in, I feel like I've barely started
like physically,
the game.
Like the map, like the
map
land
is huge.
That you're living on.
Yeah, and then each area that you have has like so much stuff to do. And it's at least for me, there is a bit of a challenge because I'll go up against other characters that are my level and get my ass kicked. And I got to figure ways out how to defeat them.
Have you been focusing more on the free play, like the exploration, the open world, or the story so far?
This is how I do Fallout, which is I always try and build off side missions, my character, so that when I do the main mission, not that I'm overpowered,
but that I have fun doing it.
Yeah, I don't want to struggle on the main mission. And what's nice about this versus something like Fallout is the missions have level markers, so you know if you are over or underpowered going into a certain mission. So that
because they'd show the red skull on Fallout. They'd show you the red skull next to the thing's name, and you're like, right, I'm gonna run away from that death claw real quick. You know, it took me like 6 to probably 8 months of playing Fallout 4 to realize that you could start building shelters and communities, because I would never play the story. So you know how if you play the story like the beginning of it, the guy, I can't remember what his name is, but he looks like cowboy guy, he then shows you that you can turn the original place into your first shelter, your own community type of thing. Never got there until like 6 months down the line, and my mates were like, well, you know that if you played the storyline they'll show you how to do that. I was like, what? Yeah. And then after that, I turned Fallout. I used all the mods. I just turned that whole map into like my own community. Many places, I was sending them around. Doesn't matter. Places. Make all of them. Make all of them your community, and then you literally own the Fallout land. You just send food around. You send people around. So I'm excited to do that in 76.
I picked out specific areas that I liked
that you wanted
I built out versus every single one.
What was the first one? Can you remember? Was it the sun? Well, besides Sanctuary,
yeah. The second one was probably...
I did the theater.
I did Castle.
The castle. Yeah, you did that through the story then.
Yeah.
The castle was a good one to do, actually.
So, and then there's like a lot of like small tiny
outposts
ones.
and stuff like that.
I don't give a shit about those people.
I ran those after that. Like I said, so you could start putting mods on it as well, where you could just get like unlimited building supplies, because the building supplies was the worst. Trying to fucking scavenge for building supplies all the time.
You need the supplies just to repair your armor,
just to do anything. For any repairing anything moving forward. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna grab one of those chemistry tables that I can just go through and just take 1,000 steel, 1,000 rubber. Blah 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 blah. Just make life that way. It's a little bit easier.
You know, transferring. And I don't know how this is going to work in Fallout 76. It's going to be interesting how they're going to do it in terms of your junk, because junk is so important. In Fallout 76 and Fallout 4. Fallout 4, you can store your stuff. Can you store in 76? Can you store your stuff? And then 2, can someone steal your shit, right? Or they're going to have like lockers.
Well, online, through the online mode, can somebody come to your place and just start going through your stuff?
One of the things about Fallout, it's like you always want to carry more shit than you actually
need. Correct.
And so what you store it places. In online, how do you do that? They've got to have some sort of locker thing where like you can store your thing here. Someone else has to get like a different locker.
I mean, I feel like maybe they'll do it so like similar to GTA, right? You can't drive other people's cars on GTA 5 online. Even if you guys are friends, I think you can give friends.
You can give
permission.
Your friends stuff.
Yeah, you can give them stuff. But like on GTA, if we were all playing, I wouldn't be able to drive your car unless you were able to like give me permission for it, if I remember correctly. But I wonder if they'll do a same type of thing. If you run up to like a lockbox or a safe house or something, you don't have permission to get in here. And then maybe it'll be like if we're friends and it's like, I want to go to check out Jack's place because I stored some of my stuff in his. I've given you access to my safe house maybe. Yeah. And it'll be able to go through there.
Well, that's going to be fun. I don't know if you've been watching, because we talked about this last week with they had the 4-hour demo for some of the super fans. I don't know why I was there.
Why were you not there?
I don't know. Bethesda. And so they were talking about like how fun it was to build the camps with other people and like
as a group,
and like they even had this thing I saw. They were like playing music together. Like you can like get musical instruments and like
the characters.
The characters.
Like the NPCs or them themselves. No,
there are no NPCs. There are no NPCs.
There's going to be no NPCs.
There are 0 NPCs. This Fallout 76 is going to be a shock to Fallout fans.
What? But as you can see how lost I am.
Yeah. So all the missions are through notes, computer logs, audio recordings.
So like the way we would run around in Fallout 76 and find like squatters or like Ravengers or what were they, Raiders. Or...
Well, no, you're gonna find like people to fight, obviously, but there's no NPCs in terms of you're not going to talk to someone. You're not going to talk to anyone. They're not going to say, "Hey,
you can't tell them." So, like in the last one, where you could like build, you could build like farms and stuff, and then you would tell people to be defense, people to be the farmer.
You do it yourself.
Oh no, I like being in charge. I don't like doing it. I like telling all these people what to do.
No. There's like you're supposed to be able to communicate with your friends, so you build like a camp base
where everybody lives,
and then you like set up like obviously like turrets and whatnot.
Food, water,
because your place
like
is going to get attacked
by
other
online.
Well, they kind of discourage PvP, so it's going to be like actual monsters will come and attack your place, and so you have to have defenses set up and whatnot. And they have photo mode, so after you kill a monster, you can take a selfie with it. I found a particular thing online, like people were playing it, and when they took their selfies, they would take all their clothes off. And they'd be just in their underwear, and they put their party hat on.
Like, take pictures next to monsters.
Yeah, people are weird.
Some people are already killing it.
People do that.
Game's not even out yet.
People have been doing that on. I think I said it last week on. They've been doing that on Spider-Man as well.
Yeah. Why you can take the suit off and take a selfie?
Because I think it's based off of Greg Miller from Kind of
Funny. The one who does runs around with his shirtless Spider-Man. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah. So back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah, I'm having a good time with it. I think it's a lot of fun. You know, it's one of those things where they're pulling different game mechanics from different, like The Witcher or Mass Effect or whatever, Red Dead Redemption. Just, you know, these big open worlds, and I love it. I love that this is one of the kind of top genres now. Yeah. This kind of open world action adventure. Could not agree more. Where you there is a main storyline, but guess what? You can go do side quests, and you can go pick up this and upgrade that. And having these RPG-like elements, not like hardcore RPG, but like, you could do this or that, and to upgrade your weapons or your costumes or whatnot.
It's like No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky finally got the idea that it needed. They were like, oh, we're making this open universe, not even open world, open universe, and it was like, but I can't share this. I can't share. How am I supposed to bump into somebody in an unlimited universe? And then eventually they finally did it so that you could start joining like your friends, and you would just blast right into the same solar system that they were in. And then finally you'd be able to. It really is. It's open universe instead of open world. So I feel like that really is the way that a lot of games are going to be going moving forward as well.
It's great. And then Bethesda's making that basically their Mass Effect version of the Fallout / Elder Scrolls engine. Really? I think it's going to be on the next system. Whatever the next generation of PS5, Xbox 2 or whatever, they're building it for that. So at one point we were going to get that version. So think Fallout 4, but with sci-fi.
Well,
and you'll be traveling planet to planet.
And you'll be traveling planet to planet instead. They got the Fallout game that's coming to your phone. Is it Blades? Fallout Glades or Blades or something? Where you can actually play it in portrait mode as well. So it's your guy like the way you do. I don't think it's
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls. Sorry, not Fallout. You're right. Elder Scrolls. Is it Blades or Glades or something?
I think it's Blades.
Yeah, and the way that they're just trying to get us to know, like, and I can't. I'm going to be at work and I'm going to be playing it the whole time, and nobody's going to know because it's portrait as well. If it was sideways, people would know, but it's not. People would just think that I'm working.
I think the good thing for me is, one, I don't like microtransactions, and two, I don't like games sucking the battery out of my phone.
Yeah. God.
So it keeps me from playing mobile games. I stick with console games.
Same.
Yeah. So anyways, I'll keep playing Odyssey, and I'll have a mini review up at some point. Hopefully I get some. I got a lot of stuff to do this weekend. A lot of stuff to do this weekend. All right, moving on. PS4 Spider-Man DLC suits revealed. The next DLC is coming out Tuesday, right?
Yep, the 23rd.
Yeah. And then it's the Black Cat one?
It's the Black Cat one. It's, I believe, what is the Heist? I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, so 23rd, and we got a new look at 3 new suits. One of them being, I think we talked about it yesterday, like the Captain Britain's, the Spider-Man UK suit, which I like. I didn't like it too much. I thought it was the most basic out of the 3. Not even trying to be disrespectful or anything. Just it looked basic to me. And then they have an original suit, the middle one, which is an original suit just for the game. And then they have the Kane Parker Scarlet Spider suit, the red and black.
Oh, they got the Scarlet Spider.
Yeah. It looks
a lot
sick.
of people were pissed about that the Scarlet Spider one, weren't they? Yeah.
So they included in this one, and it looks sick. And so they also added some details they put on the PlayStation site about what you'll be able to like follow while you're playing the heist. Like J. Jonah Jameson's in your ear doing the radio. Like I don't think you've played, but he's on the radio like as you're swinging. He has his radio and he'll be talking like theories about why Spider-Man is connected to these crimes and stuff.
It's like Fallout when you listen to the radio.
When you listen to the radio,
and they talk about you. They're talking
another thing that I didn't realize about that game until about 7 months into playing it, that if you chose the radio stations, it meant you were by certain locations, or it meant that they were talking about you, or they were telling you what was coming. Yeah. These games have so much in them now that you just don't even realize you're using it.
Nathan Fillion did the voice for Fallout 4.
No, he did not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did that.
He's really trying to get into a...
Yes,
really trying to get into
he loves video games.
Yeah, he's a big gamer, isn't he?
The first game, Fallout 3, not first game, but the Fallout 3, they had Malcolm McDowell was doing...
What?
Yeah, he was doing the radio voice.
Was he?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Did you not turn on the radio?
I probably didn't turn on the radio in any of the other Fallout games at this rate.
It's a great part. One, I love the music.
That's the music. The music ones I would play, I thought that was all it was. Because like when you play FIFA, right, they have great music. Mm-hmm. EA Sports, they have maybe not UFC. UFC is probably one of the worst ones for soundtracks out of all the.
Yeah, they don't want to pay for the.
They don't want to pay for any of it.
So they have like a bunch of cheesy original tracks.
Correct. Yeah, but some of them are worthwhile. Yeah. My favorite thing, real quick, whilst we're on UFC, real quick. So you haven't played it yet.
I haven't played it.
Have you played? You played it where you make your own character. You can only choose your last name. Right, and then you can choose a nickname as to what they go by. Yeah. If you're having a bad day, just use the nickname Big Daddy, okay? Because whilst you're throwing punches and whilst they're doing tail of the tape, they're like, that's a huge right hook from Big Daddy. And I promise you, it will make you smile every single time. I was like, and tonight's matchup, Big Daddy versus Hercules. It's one of the most enjoyable things you can ever do.
Nathan Fillion, he did voices for what? Destiny?
He did voice in Destiny?
Yeah.
The first one or the second one?
I'm trying to think, because they had Nolan North replace his character.
There was too much grinding in Destiny 2 for me. I just can't do that much grinding. It's the same thing over and over again as well.
Yeah. So what else about this? The three suits.
Oh, that's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Besides that, like, so Dennis, I don't know, when you played, if you pause it, like you could check the social, like he has his own social media.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he has his own like social media Twitter account, and like you can see like fans tweeting about Spider-Man, like, I just saw Spider-Man swing past an area you did and all that. So now they said like it'll be just completely because of the events in this DLC, like it'll just be like a bunch of tweets and fears about what's going on with Spider-Man. Like basically the city's kind of turning on you because they think you're doing like they're basically joining J. Jameson's side and like, maybe Spider-Man is a bad guy and they're just fearing for the city. So that's another feature that they're adding in on there. But overall, like, I'm just excited for it. Hopefully,
can you tweet?
No, you can't tweet.
See, that's the thing that sucks about UFC as well. In UFC and FIFA and stuff, you have the social media, which is awesome, by the way. They're now introducing social medias into games. It's very interesting. But how sick would it be if you like, shut up, you haters?
I wouldn't know, dude. That'd be like
hashtag Spider Badman.
Because you can do photo mode. You go up to the top of the building or something. Just be like,
take the photo.
I'm chilling right here. I think.
Yeah. Like, come catch these hands. Top of the Empire State Building.
He has some like auto posts though. But what they also did was like laid out a few comic books on the site that they said you could go read that will be inspired by the. That'll inspire the DLC, and a couple of them are Amazing Spider-Man number 149 or 194, Amazing Spider-Man number 226, and then Marvel Knight Spider-Man number 4. So any of our comic book fans out there, you can go check those out, and they'll be that's what they're pulling for the game.
Okay, maybe you can explain this to me. So the new Game Plus mode was delayed. It was people thought it was going to come out, I think, with the DLC. And now they're like saying sometime soon. The Game Plus mode. What is this Game Plus mode?
For Spider-Man?
I believe it's
for Spider-Man.
The harder, like a
harder version.
A difficulty level.
Yeah, a difficulty level. I believe that's what it is. It's just like, because they did the same thing on Tomb Raider. Once you beat it, it was like, you've unlocked here's a new game mode that you can go through, and it's a higher difficulty. I believe
Diablo 3 did that. UFC did that as well, yeah.
I don't know how you guys have time
to complete it and do it again.
I don't. Usually when those are introduced, I'm like, I'll do it for Twitch or something. I play a game and
then I'm done, and then I go to the next one.
I think God of War is possibly the only one that I could revisit and go back to and redo it. It was just such a game.
Well, Spider-Man, like once you do finish, besides this DLC, if you played it like me or Joey or anybody, where you're just having to do through the storyline for the view or something, like there is a bunch of stuff.
So much side to go off.
Like it's like Arkham. Like there's unlockables and like side missions and stuff like that you have to complete in order to get the full 100% on there. Not just like you beat the game like at the 60, 65, 70 level, but actually going around and like doing all those missions, which I'm doing right now. But that is probably like my one complaint from the game is like all those side missions become redundant or repetitive.
Once you start doing them.
Once you start doing them,
finished them all. Yeah.
But overall, it comes with the game.
Yeah. All right. Before we move on to Twitter questions, I'm going to make an announcement. About a new team member joining us here at Collider Games. You know, we were sorry and sad to see Joey leave us, but we've got a new member who's kind of been known in the video game. You want to talk about that?
Yeah,
Dorian?
so my boy Caboose, he is joining Collider Games. He's going to be helping us out now that Joey's gone and just stepping in, creating content, going on Twitch, doing a bunch of different stuff for us. And I'm really excited for it because he's been a friend of mine and supporting me for a few years now. So to have him join the team I'm pretty excited to see what we create and what content we're going to push out. Yeah,
and he'll be joining us here on the Collider Games podcast most weeks, and then also just coming out with reviews. And I know, he's kind of an expert at doing like these videos of mini walkthroughs or how to achieve certain things, and he'll be doing that for us as well. Yeah, so if you guys have any, like if you're familiar with Caboose, if you have any like ideas you would like to see him do on Collider Games, let us know, because we'll try to incorporate that and get him in here, get him creating some great stuff for us. So any ideas you have that you like, any videos you want to see him do specifically, let us know and we'll make it happen. Cool. All right, Twitter questions.
Twitter questions. So
what do we got?
We got from Belinda Garcia, BBC Garcia. She asked, "What are you most anticipating with the Spider-Man DLC releasing next week?"
All right.
So I guess that's more for me because neither y'all played it. I'm most excited about just to play a new story, go back to like I just said, not side missions, but like actual story. Hopefully it's like 5 or 6 hours long. It actually feels like a separate part of the game that I can just dive into and just sink my teeth into for a bit longer. So hopefully that's what I'm most excited about. And the new suits, the Scarlet Spider suit. That's what I'm really excited about.
All right.
Yeah. Pretty much. Jordan Jones asked, "How do you feel about Skybound Games taking over to finish Telltale's The Walking Dead?"
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the thing is, they're hiring the original developers anyways, so it's pretty much Telltale finishing the game.
They're giving. It's like Netflix picking up Brooklyn Nine-Nine for its like next season. I feel like it's just
they're
Skybound.
Not really doing anything.
It's NBC.
What?
Not Netflix. NBC.
No, but Netflix picked up.
No, it was NBC.
NBC was the ones that picked up Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
So
to keep it alive, whatever.
Is it through Hulu or something?
No, it's going to be on. It's going to be on the.
on NBC.
Yeah, like airing after Superstore. I don't know the schedule, but it's like.
Wait, are you sure?
I'm positive. I'm a Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan.
Yeah, but I thought they picked up that and then Lucifer. Netflix picked up Brooklyn
Nine-Nine. Netflix picked up Lucifer.
And it was NBC that say Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Say Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
But either way,
you get my point. You get my point. Yeah.
Nothing's changing.
Correct.
It's the same thing, just different. Different person paying for it and a different distribution, but
the same people making it.
The product is still the same. So I'm happy to see that, so that eventually, because I'm still on like season 1. I have season 1 and 2 downloaded. I'll eventually buy 3, and this is, I think, season 4 is the last one. So I'll be happy. I just finished The Wolf Among Us.
The Wolf Among Us.
Oh, fantastic game.
My roommate Josh played that game, and when I first sat down and watched him, I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What am I like? Are you watching something?"
Yeah,
so I said to him, I was like, "What are you watching?" He's like, "No, I'm playing this story."
Yes.
And I was like, "How on earth do you play a story?"
It's an interactive story.
Yeah, it's awesome, and your choices decide how the game plays out, doesn't it?
Yeah, and how people react to you and whatnot, and so your story changes depending on what you do and say, and it's fun. It's not, like I've always talked about, it's not so much a game. It's interactive storytelling.
Well, I'm a fan of those. I think I'd like to see a lot more of those games where it really does decide. Like, did you ever play the game Everybody's Gone to the Rapture?
No.
It was literally just a walkabout game, and it was about everybody had gone to the Rapture. But you would look at it and you'd think it was really boring, but for some reason there was something so interesting about it, where you would just walk around a dead land, but there's certain things that you would pick up and there's certain things that you would communicate with, which then would decide whereabouts it was that you would end up towards the end of the game. So I would like personally to see a few more of those types of games that really did decide on how your personality was, how you interacted with NPCs, how you interacted with other players, and then it puts different types of attributes to your character.
Yeah. So, and also, something I know our boss Mark is into is VR. Like, I think that is a great space for interactive storytelling.
Correct. Yeah.
Like,
couldn't agree more.
Where you're whatever that character, and then you get to interact with the environment and
10 seconds to make a decision, that type of stuff. Yeah. Choose one or this one, and then it's like a hot reply or a cold reply type of scenario.
Yeah, I wish more games would give a VR part to their game, like the Arkham Knight one. When I played that one, I thought that was dope as hell. Like being in there, having that around, looking around, seeing like the outline,
being able to shoot the stuff,
stuff like that. They need to do more incorporation like that. See, like for the Odyssey thing, I think that would be if they did a VR thing and had that where you see the virtual part in the background. That I think
then it would make more sense.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
When are we getting the Oasis? That's pretty much what we're asking for.
Or holodeck from Star Trek.
Holodeck.
Steven Stills at Evil Genius asks, do you think that the new generation of console systems can really offer that much of an improvement?
Well,
you have no idea.
I mean, that's the thing is every generation you go, how does it get better than this? And then it does. And then you were like, oh, look at those shitty graphics from the last generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it always. People said that when, let's say, the first PS1 came out. You know what I mean? They're like, oh my God, it's 3D.
This is amazing. Oh my God.
And now you look at it. And so at some point, it's going to be weird, but you're going to look at what would you consider the best graphical game right now?
I don't mean to be a dick, but I would like to throw the EA Sports games in there. I do truly believe that the way that they've put players in bodysuits in order to get the right run-ups, moves, kicks, celebrations, and stuff like that in the green screen suits. Same with UFC 3.
UFC 3
We've been playing, and people have been coming out and they say to us like, "Oh, who's fighting?" And we're like, "No, we're playing the game." Like, so I mean, I really think that those at the moment are some of the games. I mean, even the crowd in FIFA, the way I've watched it go from a sheet that looks like this along the side of the map, along the side of the pitch, to now hearing Liverpool's "You'll Never Walk Alone." Like to hear, and if I'm correct, I believe I read it. It could have been false news, but I don't think it was. They actually went to the stadiums around England and actually recorded some of the sounds.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And I was like, this is like the fact that you're sitting there, you're hearing Martin Tyler and Andy Gray comment on the games, or Andy White, whoever it is, depending on what you're playing, and then I honestly think that is one of my top contenders for some of the best graphical games.
The thing about the UFC is it benefits that there's 3 characters, right? There's you fighting another guy, and there's the ref.
Commentator,
and
that's
ref.
It. Yeah.
That's it. And so they can move all the graphics towards just these 3 characters. And just think about it in a few generations, you're going to be like, oh, look how shitty those graphics.
Look how terrible that. Because we're going to be literally fighting with real life. Like, I feel like it's going to be real life. Yeah, it will be like the real life version of Conor McGregor, of Khabib, etc.
Yeah, so yes, it can. Yeah, it will get better.
Next one is from Black Hispanic _ He asked, with COD World War II and now Black Ops 4, do you think the COD franchise is going back in the right direction?
Yeah, it's going back to boots on the ground. It's going back to real life. Like, I feel like this is like a very overtly absurd representation of what like American Marine Corps type of life is like. And I feel like they're definitely Black Ops 3, I think, was their attempt at making something that was different, and I think they realized they were like, oh, okay, we don't need to be any different.
Was 3 Advanced Warfare, or
I don't know if that was the actual tagline for it. Okay. I don't know if it was Black Ops 3 Advanced Warfare. It was the one with the boosting, so you could boost your jumps, you could double jump shit, you could double jump and all that. Okay, so that was the one that I just go by the numbers 1, 2, and 3 just make life easy. I think them realizing that going back to the roots of COD and just having the typical man versus man, team versus team, no flying around, no jumping and running along walls and all that type of shit. I think, they're going back in the right direction for it.
Yeah.
All right, and the last question is from J. Scott For Real. He asks, with 1 week until the release of Red Dead Redemption 2, how are you planning on playing? Honorably, dishonorably, or whatever the situation calls for?
Whatever the situation calls for.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to try and play honorably until someone like
pisses you off. Pisses you off.
That's what I do in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like I'm like, I'll play it straight up until you do something
wrong.
Do something. Then I have no qualms. Like you cross that line.
I'm not a killer.
I'm Khabib jumping out of the ring at UFC 229. Like. Once you cross that line, man, it's over.
Have you ever know when you're playing those games and they ask you for like kill person or save person? Him, Have you ever sat there in your house and for some reason looked to your left and looked to your right and made sure that nobody's watching you make the decision real quickly? I feel like that sometimes. I get so invested in these games. They're like, do you want to kill this person or save their life? I'm like, I want to kill this motherfucker. But I can't let anybody know about it. Right?
That's me playing Infamous. I'm like, I usually always like go the good role like on all the Infamous games.
But then sometimes
I'm like, fuck it,
I'll kill this.
Yeah, he can top this motherfucker right quick. He deserves it.
One of my favorite gaming moments I had was, did you ever play Fallout New Vegas?
Parts of it. Obsessed.
One of the missions was in one of the casinos.
Yeah.
And you had to kill this guy, but you kind of ingratiated yourself to him, like he thought you were on his team.
Okay, cool.
Your mission was to kill him. And then so I was up in his like penthouse, or I don't think it was a penthouse, but it was like a hotel suite. And then I like look around, like, okay, nobody's
here. You start planning it out.
And he's like sleeping on the bed. I'm like, all right. And I go to the front door, and I close it,
lock it,
and then I go to the other room, I close it. And I go over to him and I blast him in the head while he's sleeping. It's one of those moments where it's like, you know, you knew you were going to do it, but like there was just something so shady about it.
Yeah. And I love how you're like trying to be all quiet as well. You lock the doors, you sneak around and you walk in, you pull out your biggest gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Gatling gun. Guy laying there asleep in a hotel room.
Exactly. It's like, I could have just easily just went up to him and just popped him right by
silence pistol.
Close the door. Make sure nobody's around.
All watching Law and Order teaches you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Learn that special victims unit. Yeah, you know to close it up, lay a mat down. Favorite's always the tomahawk. There's about anything that you can throw, any weapon that you can throw in a game is hands down my favorite weapon. The tomahawk on Call of Duty, just as soon as you spawn, just throw it halfway across the map, and then as soon as it came up, plus 100, you just throw your controller and jump off the balcony.
I do like in Fallout building up a melee weapon.
Yeah,
it's super powerful, and then just because you know ammo is pretty scarce in Fallout
unless you use the mods.
Yeah, and so I just like, okay, if I'm gonna fight some stuff that I don't need, you know, heavy duty guns, I'll slice up zombies.
One of the sledgehammers or something that you can get with like the jet that's attached.
The shish
to the
kebab.
Top of it.
I love the shish kebab. It's pretty cool. So. Yeah, I love those moments. That's the fun thing about games. Is like there's always sometimes games, whether it's in a multiplayer or single player, where it's like you're like, oh wow, that was
sick.
Pretty cool.
There's one thing. That's why I like range so much. I love sniping. I love archery. Whenever I'm like, especially in Elder Scrolls and Skyrim, I'm always a wood elf. Always focus on archery. Always focus on distance. Just because I feel like they're the most technical type of approaches when it comes to these types of games. So do love a snipe.
All right, that's it for this episode. Dorian, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dorian Parks and Rec. That's Parks, the letter N, and then Rec, because Parks and Rec is better than The Office. And then on Instagram, you can find me on just Dorian Parks.
Jack?
You can just find me at Jack Hind on either or. And of course, subscribe to us here at Collider Videos, etc.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero, Instagram, Dennis.tzng. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Collider Games, where our podcast feed is on the Collider Factor feed. Also, you know, this past weekend, we did a demo of the Twin Peaks VR game at Festival of Disruption, which is David Lynch's festival. And we had a bunch of fans come out and try it and got a great response from it. And we're still working on it. It's still in early phases, but, you know, you'll hear more about that later on. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.